Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind: how to learn English quickly in 2025. If you've been struggling to improve your English or you've just started your learning journey, you're in the right place. We're here to share actionable tips, the latest tools and strategies to help you speed up your progress in mastering the English language. And, of course, I'm not alone today. Joining me is my wonderful co-host, Julia. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Jason, and hello to all our listeners. I'm so excited about today's topic because learning English is more important than ever, especially in 2025. With so many new tools and resources available, there's no reason anyone can't achieve their language goals.
Absolutely, Julia. In today's episode, we'll talk about why learning English quickly is essential, share proven strategies that you can start using right away, and even discuss how to avoid common pitfalls that slow learners down.
Plus, we've got some motivational stories and tips to keep you inspired throughout your journey. So, whether you're learning English for a job, travel, or personal growth, stay tuned.
By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with clear steps and tools to fast-track your English skills. Ready to get started, Julia?
Ready, let's dive in.
So, before we jump into the strategies, let's talk about why. Learning English quickly is so important, especially in 2025. Julia, what's your take on this?
Great question, Jason. English continues to be the global language of communication. It's the key to opportunities in almost every field, whether it's education, business, or even entertainment. And in 2025, with the world becoming even more connected digitally, having strong English skills gives you a huge advantage.
Exactly. Think about remote jobs. With the rise of international work opportunities, English has become the common language for remote teams. If you're fluent, you're not just applying for local jobs, you're competing on a global scale.
And it's not just about work. English is the language of the internet. Over half the content online is in English. That means learning it opens up a treasure trove of knowledge and resources.
That's a great point, Julia. And let's not forget travel. For many of our listeners who dream of exploring the world, English is often the bridge that helps you communicate, whether you're in Europe, Asia, or the Americas.
Absolutely. It's also worth mentioning the importance of English for education. In 2025, more universities and online courses are offering programs in English than ever before. If you're looking to study abroad or enroll in an online degree, English is your gateway.
And one more thing: social connections. Social media platforms, forums, and communities are dominated by English speakers. If you can engage in those spaces, you can build friendships and professional networks around the world.
So true, Jason. In short, learning English isn't just a skill. It's a necessity for anyone who wants to thrive in today's interconnected world.
And that's why learning it quickly matters. Time is precious, and the faster you can master the language, the sooner you can unlock these opportunities.
Exactly. So now that we understand why it's so important, let's get into the how. Ready to dive into some
Now that we understand why learning English quickly is so important, let's dive into the most effective strategies to make it happen. Julia, what's the first step for anyone trying to speed up their learning?
The first step, Jason, is creating an immersive learning environment. Even if you're not in an English-speaking country, you can surround yourself with the language. For example, you can watch English TV shows, listen to English podcasts, like this one, or play music in English.
That's a great start. Immersion really helps your brain get used to the language naturally. And don't just passively consume content. Try shadowing, Listen to a phrase and repeat it immediately. This improves your pronunciation and fluency.
Absolutely. Another tip for immersion is changing the language settings on your phone, apps, and social media to English. It forces you to think in the language every time you use these tools.
That's a smart trick. Okay, what's next, Julia?
Next is using technology effectively. In 2025, we have so many advanced tools to help us learn faster. Apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and Memories make vocabulary and grammar fun and interactive. Plus, there are AI-powered tools like chatbots or virtual tutors that simulate real conversations.
Great point, Julia. Speaking of AI, tools like ChatGPT or other language assistants can help you practice writing and speaking. You can even ask them for feedback on your sentences.
Exactly. And don't forget about YouTube channels for English learners. Many creators offer lessons that cater to all levels, from beginner to advanced.
True. All right, let's talk about practice, the backbone of learning any skill. To learn English quickly, you have to practice every day. Julia, what's your advice for practicing consistently?
Well, Jason, it's important to make practice fun and varied. For example, keep a journal in English, try speaking out loud while doing daily tasks, or record yourself and listen back to spot areas for improvement.
That's a great tip. And if you don't have a partner to practice speaking with, use language exchange platforms like HelloTalk or Tandem. You can connect with native speakers and practice real-life conversations.
Absolutely. And even talking to yourself in English works. Describe what you're doing or how you're feeling. It helps you think in English, which is key to fluency.
Great advice, Julia. Another important strategy is to learn from your mistakes. Don't be afraid of getting things wrong. It's part of the process.
Right. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. Keep a notebook where you jot down your common errors, then review and correct them regularly.
Exactly. And let's not forget vocabulary. One way to learn new words quickly is to focus on context. Read stories, watch videos, or listen to conversations where words are used in real-life situations.
Yes, and try using flashcards or apps like Anki to build your vocabulary. Just make sure to review them regularly so the words stick in your memory.
These are excellent strategies, Julia. To sum up, immerse yourself in the language, use modern technology, practice daily, and embrace your mistakes. Anything else to add before we move on?
Just one thing, Jason. Don't rush. While learning quickly is great, it's important to enjoy the process. When you're having fun, the language will stick with you longer.
So true. All right, now that we've covered the strategies, let's talk about some common pitfalls and how we've covered some powerful strategies for learning English quickly. But let's not forget, there are common pitfalls that can slow you down or even discourage you. Julia, what do you think is one of the biggest mistakes learners make?
One of the most common mistakes, Jason, is trying to learn everything at once. Many learners think they need to master all the grammar rules and memorize thousands of words before they can start speaking, but that's overwhelming and unrealistic.
That's so true. Instead, focus on the essentials. Learn the most commonly used words and phrases first. Build a solid foundation and add more as you go.
Exactly. Another pitfall is being afraid to make mistakes. Some people avoid speaking English because they're worried about getting it wrong or sounding silly.
And that fear can really hold you back. Here's the truth. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. The more you speak, even if it's not perfect, the faster you'll improve.
Right? And here's another mistake: lack of consistency. Many learners start strong but lose momentum after a few weeks. Learning a language requires regular practice. It's like exercising a muscle.
Great point, Julia. To stay consistent, try setting small, achievable goals. For example, commit to learning 5 new words a day or practicing speaking for 10 minutes. Small steps lead to big results over time.
Absolutely. Another pitfall is relying too much on passive learning. Watching videos or listening to podcasts is great, but you also need active engagement, like speaking, writing, or doing exercises.
That's crucial. Passive learning gives you input, but active practice helps you produce language. A balance between the two is the key to success.
Finally, Jason, I'd say the last big pitfall is comparing yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. It's easy to feel discouraged if you see someone improving faster, but that doesn't mean you're failing.
Exactly, Julia. Focus on your own progress. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and keep moving forward.
To sum it up, avoid overwhelming yourself, don't fear mistakes, stay consistent, balance passive and active learning, and don't compare yourself to others.
That's it, Julia. If our listeners can steer clear of these pitfalls, they'll be on the fast track to learning English successfully.
Now that we've addressed these common challenges, let's wrap things up with some motivational tips and success stories to keep our listeners inspired.
Great idea. Let's dive into that next. We've shared strategies and pointed out common pitfalls, but let's talk about something just as important. Staying motivated. Julia, learning English can sometimes feel like a long journey. What advice would you give to keep our listeners inspired?
That's a great point, Jason. My first piece of advice is to focus on your progress, not perfection. Celebrate every small win, whether it's understanding a conversation, learning a new phrase, or pronouncing a tricky word correctly. These little victories add up over time.
I love that, Julia. Another way to stay motivated is to remind yourself of your why. Why are you learning English? Is it for a better job, to travel, or to connect with new people? Keeping that goal in mind can push you forward, even on tough days.
Exactly. And surround yourself with positivity. Join online communities or find friends who are also learning English. Sharing your journey with others can make the process more enjoyable and less lonely.
That's so true. And don't forget to have fun. Choose activities that you enjoy, like watching your favorite movies or listening to songs in English. When learning feels like play, it becomes so much easier.
Absolutely, Jason. And here's a quick success story to inspire our listeners. A student of mine started learning English just 6 months ago. She practiced daily for 15 minutes and focused on speaking confidently, even with mistakes. Now she's having full conversations in English, and she's even landed a remote job at an international company.
That's incredible. It's proof that consistency and confidence can take you far. To all our listeners, if she can do it, so can you.
Exactly. Just take it one step at a time and remember, every effort you make today brings you closer to fluency.
Well said, Julia. Keep going, everyone. You've got this. Now, let's wrap up with a quick summary of everything we've covered today. Before we wrap up, we want to leave you with a simple but important message. Take action today. Learning English quickly is possible if you start now and stay consistent.
That's right, Jason. Start small. Try one new strategy from today's podcast. Whether it's immersing yourself in English content, practicing daily, or using an app to learn vocabulary, just take that first step.
And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more helpful tips and strategies. We're here to guide you every step of the way on your English learning journey.
Also, share this episode with a friend who's learning English. Together, you can motivate and support each other.
Lastly, we'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge in learning English, and how do you stay motivated? Drop us a comment or message. We might feature your story in a future episode.
You've got this. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, happy learning.
Take care, everyone, and keep pushing forward. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Today's episode is super exciting and very personal. We're talking about how ChatGPT helped Jason improve his English in just 30 days.
That's right. I'm not just the host of this podcast. I'm also a learner, just like many of you. And honestly, I struggled with English for a long time, especially with speaking naturally and writing confidently.
And then something changed, right?
Yes, I started using ChatGPT as my daily practice buddy, and wow, it really worked. My grammar got better, I stopped translating in my head, and I even felt more confident speaking.
That's why this episode matters. If you've been feeling stuck or not sure how to improve your English, this could be a game changer. You don't need expensive classes. You just need consistency and a smart tool.
Exactly. So, if you're listening and thinking, can I really improve in 30 days? The answer is yes, and we'll show you how.
We'll walk you through Jason's journey week by week. You'll hear real examples, role plays, and tips you can start using right now.
So grab your notebook, get ready to learn, and let's jump into the story of how ChatGPT fixed my English in just 30 days.
So Jason, let's rewind a little. Before ChatGPT, what was your English like?
Well, honestly, Julia, it was tough. I knew some vocabulary and grammar rules, but when it came to real conversations, I froze. My mind would just go blank.
That sounds frustrating. Was it confidence or something else?
It was a mix of things. I was afraid of making mistakes. I always thought people would laugh or judge me. And because of that, I avoided speaking altogether.
Did you try learning in other ways before?
Oh yeah, many. I downloaded so many apps. Duolingo, YouTube lessons, even joined an English class. They helped a bit, but I still couldn't think in English or respond naturally.
That's a common problem. Many learners know the rules, but speaking feels like a whole different world.
Exactly. I could write a sentence like I go to the market every day, but if someone said to me, "Hey Jason, what did you do yesterday?" I'd panic. I'd start translating in my head, get stuck, and say nothing.
So, what was your biggest struggle?
Speaking fluently and listening quickly. People talk fast. Native speakers don't always follow the grammar I studied. I wanted to reply, but my sentences felt slow, robotic, and awkward.
I hear this a lot. I understand English in my mind, but I can't speak it out loud. Was that you?
Exactly. I felt like I was stuck at the almost good level. Not a beginner, but not fluent either. And honestly, I was about to give up.
Wow, that's so real. So many people listening right now probably feel the same. And now, just a month later, you're co-hosting an English podcast. That's a huge transformation.
It really is. That's why I wanted to share this story. If I can do it, anyone can. You just need the right strategy and the right tool, which for me was ChatGPT.
And we're going to get into that next. First, how you found ChatGPT and how it changed your learning approach completely.
Yep, let's talk about it.
All right, Jason, let's get into the big turning point. How did you discover ChatGPT?
So funny story. I wasn't even looking for an English tool. I saw a video on YouTube titled I Can Talk Like a Human, and thought, okay, let me try this robot thing for fun.
Haha, so it started as an experiment?
Exactly. I typed something simple like, "Hello, how are you?" And boom, it replied like a real person. That's when I got curious.
What was your first English learning question to it?
I think I asked, "Can you help me speak English better?" And it said, "Of course. Let's practice a conversation together." I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing. What made it feel different from all the other tools and apps you tried?
It was natural. It didn't feel like a lesson. It felt like a conversation with someone who never judged me, never got tired, and always explained things clearly.
That's powerful. No pressure, no embarrassment, just learning in real time.
Exactly. And I could ask anything. Is this sentence correct? What's a better way to say this? Can you explain this grammar rule? And I'd get simple, friendly answers instantly.
So, right from the start, it felt like the partner you were missing?
Yes, like a 24/7 English coach who's patient and smart. I thought, okay, maybe I'll use this every day for 30 days and see what happens.
And that decision changed everything, right?
Absolutely. From that moment, I created a daily plan, and ChatGPT became my personal teacher, speaking partner, grammar checker, and even writing coach.
Amazing. Coming up next, we'll break down week 1 of Jason's journey, how he used ChatGPT to fix his grammar and grow his vocabulary.
Can't wait! Let's go!
So, Jason, let's dive into week 1 of your 30-day journey. What was your focus during the first week?
Week 1 was all about fixing my grammar and learning new vocabulary, but in a way that was actually fun and useful. I started by telling ChatGPT, "Please correct my English," and that opened the door to a whole new method.
Interesting. How did it correct you? Like a teacher?
Yeah, but much friendlier. I would type something like, "Yesterday I go to the park," and ChatGPT would say, "Did you mean yesterday I went to the park?" Then it explained the reason. So I wasn't just memorizing, I was understanding.
That's the key. Learning by doing, not just reading grammar books.
Exactly. I even asked it, "Give me 5 daily sentences with simple grammar and useful words." It gave me examples like, "I wake up at 7 a.m. I eat breakfast with my family." And I'd repeat those, then change them using my own life.
So you made it personal. That helps the brain remember better.
Totally. And for vocabulary, I asked ChatGPT things like, "Give me 10 words about daily routines with meaning and example sentences." And boom! It gave me a nice list with sentences like, "Brush. I brush my teeth every morning."
Simple, clear, and directly useful. Perfect for beginners.
I even used a little trick. I said, "Quiz me on these words," and it made mini vocabulary tests, like fill in the blanks, matching words to meanings, or multiple choice. I didn't feel like I was studying. I felt like I was playing.
That's a great point. You weren't just using ChatGPT for answers. You were using it to train your brain.
Exactly. And after 1 week, I noticed I was making fewer grammar mistakes, and I could describe my day with better words.
That's amazing progress in just 7 days. So for our listeners, if you want to start like Jason, just ask ChatGPT to correct your sentences, give daily vocabulary, and quiz you on new words.
Yes, that's the perfect start. Coming up next, I'll share how I used ChatGPT to improve my writing in week 2.
Can't wait to hear it. All right, Jason, we're now in week 2 of your journey. You focused on writing this time, right?
Yes, week 2 was all about writing. I realized I could read and understand English, but when I had to write an email or even a short paragraph, I struggled.
What kind of writing did you practice?
I started simple. I told ChatGPT, please help me write a short paragraph about my day. And it gave me a basic example. Then I rewrote it in my own words and asked, can you check my version?
So you were writing, getting corrections, and improving at the same time.
Exactly. And the best part, it explained why my sentence needed improvement. Like, I am go to work at 8. ChatGPT corrected it to, I go to work at 8 and explained, you don't need am with go. That stuck in my mind.
That's so helpful. Did you try different types of writing too?
Yes. I asked it, can you help me write a polite email to my teacher? And ChatGPT gave me a great example. I learned how to start with dear, how to be formal, how to close with best regards, all those little things that make a big difference.
That's such a useful skill, especially for students and professionals.
Totally. Later that week, I even asked ChatGPT to help me write short essays, nothing big, just 100 to 150 words. Topics like my favorite hobby or why I want to learn English. Then I'd compare my writing with ChatGPT's version to learn better sentence structure.
And did your writing improve?
Yes, I felt more confident. I learned how to connect sentences with words like also, because, however. I started thinking in complete sentences instead of just words.
So for our listeners, if writing is your weak area, start small. Use ChatGPT to help with paragraphs, emails, and simple essays, then ask it to correct you and explain why.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you grow.
Love it. Now let's move into week 3 where you focused on speaking with ChatGPT.
That's where things really changed. Let's talk about it.
All right, Jason, we're now in week 3 of your journey, and this is the one I'm most curious about. You actually practiced speaking with ChatGPT?
Yes, and it worked way better than I expected. Of course, ChatGPT doesn't speak with voice, but I used it like a speaking partner. I would type out a conversation, then speak it out loud as I typed. It helped me think and talk in English.
That's so creative. So you practiced both typing and speaking at the same time?
Exactly. I would write, Hi ChatGPT, can we practice a conversation about ordering food? And then I'd go back and forth with it, pretending I was at a restaurant. I read my part out loud and imagined the full scene.
Nice. So it's like role play, but you're also training your brain to respond naturally.
Yes, and I did that every day, just 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I'd say, let's talk like two friends meeting for coffee, or help me practice small talk. And ChatGPT played the role perfectly.
Did you feel your speaking improve?
Oh, yes. At first, I was slow. I needed time to think. But after a few days, my sentences came out faster. I stopped translating in my head. I started thinking in English, just like you always hear in fluency tips.
That's the goal. And all this without needing a real person?
Right. And the cool part, I never felt embarrassed. If I made a mistake, I could just say, Oops, can you correct me? And ChatGPT would gently fix it.
That's so powerful. For our listeners, if you feel shy about speaking English with real people, start with ChatGPT. Practice daily conversations, ask for corrections, and speak aloud as you go.
Exactly. It's like having a friendly partner who's always ready to practice anytime.
All right, up next, week 4, where you started feeling real confidence and fluency. Can't wait to hear about that.
Let's dive into it.
All right, Jason, we've reached week 4, the final stretch. What was happening at this point?
Honestly, Julia, this was when I started to feel real change. I wasn't just learning English. I was using English. I felt more confident writing, speaking, and even thinking in English without overthinking.
That's such a great feeling. What helped you make that final jump?
I started asking ChatGPT for fluency tips, like how can I sound more natural? Or how do native speakers speak casually? It gave me tips like using contractions, filler words, and natural expressions.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Instead of saying, I do not know, ChatGPT taught me to say, I don't know. Instead of, let me think, I learned to say, not sure actually. Those little things made a big difference.
So you began sounding more natural and less robotic.
Exactly. I even practiced short, real-life dialogues every day, like ordering coffee, making small talk at work, or asking for directions. I asked ChatGPT, can we do a 5-line role play? And it made it feel like real practice.
And did your confidence grow?
Big time. I stopped worrying about mistakes. I just focused on the message. I realized fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about communicating clearly and naturally.
That's such an important message. Fluency comes from using English, not just studying it.
Exactly. By week 4, I could write a short essay without fear, have a basic conversation without freezing, and even help others with their English.
Wow, what a transformation in just 1 month. So for our listeners, if you stay consistent, use ChatGPT daily, and stay curious, you can absolutely make fast, real progress.
Yes, you can. And coming up next, we'll show you a sample role play that I did with ChatGPT during my final week.
This will give you a clear idea of how to practice on your own. Stay tuned. All right, Jason, now it's time for something fun, a little role play. Show us what a daily conversation with ChatGPT looked like for you in week 4.
Sure, this was one of my favorite ways to practice. I'd type something like, Hi ChatGPT, can we have a short conversation like two friends meeting at a cafe? And here's how it would go. Role play. Conversation at a cafe. Jason, as the learner. Hi, it's good to see you again. How have you been?
Hey, I've been great, thanks. How about you?
I'm good. Just a bit tired. I had a busy day at work.
Oh, really? What did you do today?
I had 3 meetings, and I had to finish a report. It was a long day.
Sounds stressful. Did you get a chance to relax after work?
Yes, I watched a movie and had dinner with my family. That helped me relax.
That's nice. Spending time with family is the best way to unwind. That's such a natural conversation and so useful for real life.
Exactly. And after the chat, I would ask ChatGPT, can you correct any grammar mistakes I made? Can you explain one new phrase from this chat? And it would explain everything clearly.
I love that. It's like practice plus correction plus vocabulary, all in one.
Yup. And the best part? I was learning through real situations, not textbook dialogues. I felt like I was talking to a real person.
For our listeners, you can try this today. Just type to ChatGPT. Let's practice a short dialogue about shopping, chalked school, chalked travel, and go back and forth. Then ask for feedback.
Do it every day, even just 10 minutes, and you'll feel the difference.
Coming up next, we'll break down why ChatGPT was so effective for your progress. Let's get into that.
Let's do it!
Okay, Jason, you've shared your whole journey. Now let's break down. Why do you think ChatGPT helped you so quickly?
Great question, Julia. I think there are 3 big... First, it's always available. No need to wait for a tutor or join a class. I could practice anytime, day or night.
That's huge. Learning happens best when it fits your schedule.
Second, ChatGPT gives instant, personalized feedback. I wasn't just guessing if I was right or wrong. I got clear corrections and explanations.
No confusion means faster learning.
Exactly. Third, it's a safe space to practice without fear. I could make mistakes and learn without feeling embarrassed.
That really lowers the pressure and keeps motivation high.
Also, ChatGPT adapts to your level. It won't give you super hard sentences if you're a beginner. It meets you where you are and grows with you.
So it's like a patient, flexible teacher who's always ready.
Yes. And finally, the conversational style made it fun. I wasn't just studying, I was interacting. That kept me coming back every day.
Awesome. So availability, instant feedback, safe space, adaptability, and fun, that's a powerful combo.
Definitely. That's why I made real progress in just 30 days.
Great insights. Up next, we'll share some practical tips for beginners who want to use ChatGPT to improve their English.
Let's keep going.
All right, Jason, now that we know why ChatGPT worked so well, what tips do you have for beginners who want to get the most out of it?
Great question, Julia. Here are my top. First, be specific with your requests. Instead of saying, "Help me with English," try, "Can you correct my grammar in this sentence?" Or, "Give me simple sentences about travel."
That helps ChatGPT give exactly what you need.
Second, practice daily, even just 10 minutes. Consistency beats long but rare sessions. ChatGPT is always ready, so make it part of your routine.
A little every day adds up fast.
Third, don't be afraid to ask for explanations. If you don't understand a correction or a new word, ask ChatGPT to explain in simple English. It's your personal tutor.
I love that. Learning and understanding go hand in hand.
Also, try to use English out loud when you chat. Speak the sentences, read them, practice your pronunciation.
That's key for improving your speaking skills.
Finally, mix it up. Use ChatGPT for grammar, vocabulary, writing, and conversation practice. Variety keeps learning interesting.
Great advice. So for our listeners, be specific, stay consistent, ask questions, speak out loud, and keep it fun.
Exactly. That's how you turn ChatGPT into your best English coach.
Coming up next, we'll invite our listeners to take a 30-day ChatGPT challenge and share their progress.
Let's inspire everyone to start their own journey.
All right, listeners, now it's your turn. Are you ready to take the 30-day ChatGPT challenge?
Yes, it's simple. Just spend 10 to 15 minutes a day practicing English with ChatGPT. You can focus on grammar, vocabulary, writing, or speaking, whatever you need most.
Remember to be consistent. Make it part of your daily routine, maybe after breakfast or before bed.
And don't worry about mistakes. ChatGPT is your safe space to learn and grow.
If you want, keep a journal of your progress. Write down new words, corrected sentences, or questions you asked.
And feel free to share your progress with us on social media or in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories.
This challenge could be the start of your own amazing English journey, just like Jason's.
So, are you in? Let's do this together. Wow, what a journey! If you've listened this far, I want you to remember this. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. Progress takes time, patience, and practice. But with tools like ChatGPT, you have a powerful partner right at your fingertips.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward. Every conversation brings you closer to fluency.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and celebrate your small wins. They add up to big success.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope Jason's story inspires you to start or keep your English learning journey.
And remember, you're never alone. We're all learning together.
See. Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and as always, I'm here to guide you on your journey to mastering English.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. We're so glad you could join us today. If you're someone who wants to improve your English speaking skills, you're in for a treat, because today's topic is all about how reading can help you speak better English.
Yes, reading. You might think reading and speaking are two completely different skills, but they're actually closely connected. In fact, many language learners have discovered that the more they read, the better and more confidently they can express themselves in English.
That's right, Jason. Reading helps with vocabulary, pronunciation, and even sentence structure. And in today's episode, we're going to dive into why reading is so effective and share some tips on how you can use it to improve your English speaking skills.
So stick with us until the end, because we'll also give you some practical tips that you can start using today. And don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with friends who might find it helpful.
Let's get started.
All right, Julia, let's kick things off. When we talk about improving English speaking skills, most people immediately think of practicing conversations. But reading? That's not the first thing that comes to mind, is it?
Not at all, Jason. People often think of reading as something quiet and unrelated to speaking, but the truth is, it's like fuel for your language engine. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I started reading short stories, and it made a world of difference in how I spoke.
That's such a great example. For me, I used to read news articles when I was brushing up on my French. And even though I wasn't speaking right away, I noticed that I was picking up natural phrases and how sentences were structured. That made me feel more confident when I did start speaking.
Exactly. It's like you're absorbing the language passively through reading. And let's not forget, reading introduces us to so many new words and phrases that we don't come across in everyday conversations. For English learners, this can be a game changer.
Absolutely, and what's really cool is that reading also helps you understand how native speakers communicate. You see how they use idioms, expressions, and even different tones depending on the context. It's like having a sneak peek into real-life conversations.
That's such a good point, Jason. And one thing I always tell learners is that reading isn't just about understanding, it's about inspiration. When you read a powerful quote or an interesting sentence, you feel motivated to try saying it yourself, don't you?
Totally. I mean, think about how many of us have tried to repeat lines from a book or even a favorite movie script. It's fun and effective. So for all our listeners out there, don't underestimate the power of reading. It's not just about improving comprehension. It's a stepping stone to speaking better English.
And we're about to explain exactly how that works, so stay tuned.
All right, Julia, let's get into the heart of the discussion. Why is reading such a powerful tool for improving English speaking skills? Let's break it down.
Sure, Jason. Let's start with vocabulary building, which is probably the most obvious benefit of reading. When you read, you're exposed to so many new words and phrases in context. For example, if you're reading a story, you'll see how words are used in real sentences, making it easier to understand and remember them.
Exactly. And unlike memorizing a list of words, reading helps you learn how those words are actually used. For instance, instead of just learning the word remarkable, you might read a sentence like, "It was a remarkable achievement," which helps you understand how to use it naturally in your own conversations.
Right. And that brings us to the next point. Grammar awareness. When you're reading, you're constantly seeing correct sentence structures, which helps you absorb grammar rules without even realizing it. It's like learning by example.
Absolutely. For example, when you read a sentence like, "She has been studying for hours," you see how tenses are used correctly. And over time, you start to use those tenses naturally in your own speaking.
Another big benefit is pronunciation practice, especially if you're reading dialogue-heavy books or pairing your reading with audiobooks. Listening to how words are pronounced while reading along can really improve your speaking skills.
That's a great tip. I've seen learners improve a lot just by shadowing audiobooks. They read along with the narrator and repeat after them. It's like having a speaking coach right there with you.
And let's not forget about confidence building. When you read, especially aloud, you're practicing forming sentences and getting comfortable with the language. This helps you gain the confidence to speak in real-life situations.
Yes, and the more you read, the more familiar you become with common phrases and expressions. This familiarity can make speaking feel less intimidating because you already know how to say things the right way.
Exactly. And reading also exposes you to different styles of communication: formal, informal, persuasive, and even humorous. This variety is invaluable when you're trying to sound natural in different settings.
That's a great point, Julia. So to sum up, reading helps you expand your vocabulary, understand grammar, improve pronunciation, and build confidence, all of which are essential for speaking English fluently.
Absolutely, Jason. And the best part? Reading is something you can do at your own pace, whenever you have free time. It's such a flexible way to improve your language skills.
Exactly. And coming up next, we'll share some practical tips on how to make the most of reading to boost your English speaking. Stay tuned. Now that we've discussed the benefits of reading, let's talk about how to actually use reading to improve your English speaking skills. Julia, what's your first tip for our listeners?
My first tip is to choose the right materials. Start with something that matches your current level of English. For beginners, books like graded readers, children's stories, or short articles are perfect. As you improve, you can move on to novels, blogs, or even newspapers.
That's such a good point. If you pick something too difficult, it can feel frustrating. But if it's too easy, you won't learn much. I also recommend looking for materials that match your interests, whether it's sports, travel, or fantasy novels. If you enjoy what you're reading, you're more likely to stick with it.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Read aloud. This is such a simple but powerful way to practice your speaking. When you read out loud, you're practicing how to pronounce words, form sentences, and improve your fluency. Plus, it boosts your confidence.
That's a great one. Reading aloud also helps you hear yourself, so you can notice areas where you might need to improve. And if you pair this with audiobooks, you can take it a step further. Listen to how the narrator pronounces words and try to copy them. This technique is called shadowing.
Yes, shadowing is fantastic. It's like having a private tutor. You listen, repeat, and get used to the rhythm and tone of native speakers. Another practical tip is to write down new words or phrases you come across while reading. Then, practice using those words in your own sentences or conversations.
That's a great idea. Keeping a vocabulary journal is really helpful. And when you learn a new phrase, don't just memorize it. Try using it in different contexts. For example, if you read the phrase, break the ice, practice using it in sentences like, I broke the ice by telling a joke at the party.
Exactly, Jason. And here's one more tip. Repeat what you read in your own words. This is called summarizing. After you read a paragraph or a short story, try explaining it out loud as if you're telling someone about it. This helps you practice speaking and organizing your thoughts in English.
That's such an effective technique. And for those who enjoy storytelling, try adding a bit of creativity to your summaries. Maybe change the ending of the story or add your own twist. It's a fun way to engage with the material while practicing your speaking.
I love that idea. And one final tip is to be consistent. Even 10 to 15 minutes of reading a day can make a huge difference over time. So make it a daily habit and you'll see steady progress in your speaking skills.
Absolutely. Consistency is key. So to recap, choose the right materials, read aloud, shadow with audiobooks, write down and practice new phrases, summarize in your own words, and stay consistent. If you follow these tips, you'll be amazed at how much your English speaking improves.
That's right. And don't forget, learning a language is a journey. Celebrate your progress along the way and enjoy the process.
Coming up next, we'll answer a common question from our listeners about reading and learning English. Stay tuned. Now, let's move on to one of our favorite parts of the podcast, the Q&A segment. We love answering your questions, and today we have an interesting one from a listener named Ahmed. Ahmed asks, how can I stay motivated to read in English every day, especially when it feels difficult? Great question, Ahmed.
That's such a relatable question, Ahmed. Many learners feel this way at some point. My advice is to start small and focus on materials you enjoy. For example, if you love sports, try reading short articles about your favorite teams. When the content is interesting to you, it doesn't feel like a chore.
Great advice, Julia. I'd also add that setting small goals can make a big difference. Instead of saying, I need to read an entire book, start with one page or even one paragraph a day. Celebrate those small wins. It's all about building a habit.
Absolutely. And don't forget to use tools that can help you stay on track. For example, apps like Kindle or websites with English blogs often let you highlight words and see their meanings instantly. This makes reading less overwhelming.
Another tip is to combine reading with other activities. For instance, read a recipe and then try making the dish, or read song lyrics while listening to the music. Making it fun and practical can really boost your motivation.
Yes, and don't be afraid to reread something if it feels tough the first time. The second or third time, you'll notice how much easier it becomes, and that can be a real confidence boost.
Great points, Julia. Ahmed, I hope these tips help you stay motivated. And for all our listeners, if you have a question about learning English, feel free to send it to us. We'd love to feature it in a future episode.
That's right. Just leave your questions in the comments or send us a message. We're here to help you on your English learning journey.
Coming up next, we'll wrap up today's episode with some final thoughts. Stay with us. All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found our discussion on how reading can help you speak better English both helpful and inspiring.
Yes, remember, reading is not just about improving your language skills. It's also a way to explore new worlds, gain knowledge, and connect with others. And when you combine reading with speaking practice, you'll see amazing progress.
Exactly. So whether you're reading a short article, a fun novel, or even subtitles while watching a movie, every little bit helps. Start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey.
And don't forget to use the practical tips we shared today. Read aloud, shadow with audiobooks, and summarize what you've read. These small steps can make a big difference in your speaking skills over time.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the English Learning Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments and let us know how reading has helped your English learning journey. We'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, you're doing great. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.